Meanwhile, New Delhi's problems are by no means limited to Beijing. India's relationship with each one of its neighbors is being tested. At a time like this, one can't help but remember May 2014. Almost every leader from India's neighborhood was in New Delhi. They had come to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi take oath of office in his first term. Afghanistan, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, the Maldives, you name the country, the leaders were there. It was unprecedented. Even Nawaz Sharif from Pakistan was in the audience. No previous Prime Minister of India had managed something like this. This was diplomacy at its finest. And it only seemed to improve in the years that followed. In its first term, this government devoted a considerable amount of time to strengthening ties with the neighborhood. SAARC was priority. Neighborhood first became the rallying call. The Prime Minister made multiple visits. He built up a personal rapport with almost all neighboring leaders. That was 6 years ago. What has all of this personal, diplomatic, even financial investment come to? Is India's diplomacy losing to China's checkbook? It appears so if you look at India's neighbors today. Although, to be fair, this is a slow game and there's always more than meets the eye. But right now, what meets the eye is not a pretty sight. Let me give you some examples. Nepal, a country which shares more with India than the border. Political history, culture, religion, relationships. But the Nepalese leadership wants to junk all of this for China. First, Kathmandu mobilized public opinion against India. Then it fixed its map, redrew its boundaries. Comrade Oli had too many complaints when it came to India, but he remained blind to Chinese threats. His bubble has now been burst. Manufactured anti-India sentiments have given way to real anti-China sentiments in Nepal. First, there were anti-government protests. Now, lawmakers in Nepal are speaking up. Nepali Congress, the principal opposition party in the country, has tabled a resolution on Chinese encroachment. China has encroached at least 10 places in Nepal, compromising close to 36 hectares of land. Lawmakers want Nepal's Prime Minister to bring back these territories. The question is, can he? The answer is no. Will he try at least? Unlikely. Comrade Oli is still taking instructions from the Chinese embassy. Nonetheless, the Nepalese Foreign Ministry issued a clarification today. Their denial will shock you. Nepal is saying there is no Chinese incursion at all. Allow me to quote. The news allegedly based on the report of the Ministry of Agriculture does not exist. Boundary markers reported as missing have never been erected. And listen to this. The ministry requests the media to verify the information from the relevant authorities before commenting on such sensitive matters which may adversely affect the relations between the two friendly neighbors. Sensitive matters and friendly neighbors, he says. Nepal made no such statement, by the way, when it came to India. Forget statements. Nepal's actions towards India have been anything but friendly. Last week, Nepal's forces killed an Indian citizen. The Nepal parliament amended a law making it tougher for Indians married to Nepalese citizens to get citizenship. Nepal has unleashed radio warfare against India. Anti-India songs and commentary are a regular affair on Nepal FM. If Nepal's actions are shocking, listen to what happened with Bhutan. Yes, Bhutan. Bhutan has stopped irrigation water for Indian farmers. Remember the Doklam standoff happened in 2017 because India stood up for Bhutan against China. And now this. Now Bhutan has stopped releasing channel water for Indian farmers in the Baksa district of Assam. And this is no ordinary move. Reports say more than 6,000 farmers from more than 26 villages of this district are dependent on a man-made irrigation channel. It has now been shut. Bhutan is yet to provide an explanation for this sudden closure. There's massive resentment among the farmers in this district. There have been protests at the local level. The farmers want New Delhi to raise the issue with Bhutan. We do hope it's resolved soon. Because this is a long list. We have Bangladesh on it, a country India helped come into existence. The government of Sheikh Hasina in Bangladesh is still friendly towards India, but it's slowly drifting towards China, or Chinese money to be more precise. Beijing has offered Dhaka tariff exemption on 97% of exports from Bangladesh. It is developing sister cities across Bangladesh. What is the dragon getting in return? A strategic edge. The Chinese regime is building a submarine base in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar. The base will house 2 Chinese-made submarines. In Sri Lanka, Chinese investments are influencing the foreign policy. In Afghanistan, China has been trying to set the base for CPEC projects. Even Myanmar is drowning in Chinese loans. It owes $4 billion to China in BRI loans. Each of these developments is significant. And they tell you a lot about China's long march into India's neighborhood and the traditional sphere of influence. They also tell you how New Delhi's geopolitical challenges are growing. While India says neighborhood first, the neighbors may be saying China first.